What's up, y'all? I am back for another video. We are here to continue, well, not continue, but I'm here to do a music related video. I'm going to be listing my favorite vocalists in rock and metal. This is going to be 10. Initially, it was going to be 5, but I really did branch out and thought of more. And like I mentioned in other videos, I'm a big fan of rock and metal. And one of the things that gets me, besides the guitar, is vocals. And these singers are all great. And this is just my opinion. This isn't like objective or anything like that. This is just my personal list. I wouldn't even name some of your favorites in the comment section. But before I guess I'll get to the list. Tomorrow I'm gonna be going back since I did First Strike last week, and that was part of the police story series. I'm gonna go back and watch the first Police Story with Jackie Chan. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. I promise I'll be doing that one tomorrow. And then Tuesday, I will be continuing on with the Tarantino movies, and we're gonna be doing Kill Bill. So I cannot fucking wait to do Kill Bill though. So, but that's on Tuesday. But I guess we'll get going. So. So number 10 is David Draymond from Disturbed. He is one I did a whole video on Disturbed, and I think Disturbed are a great band, but his voice is so good. Like, the one constant thing in every Disturbed song, besides like the guitar being good and the songs hit hard, is the fact that his voice, David Draymond's voice, just, and the moment I found out, besides like listening to his other music, listen to his cover of Sound of Silence. That is the most beautiful thing. He does it so good. So I definitely think David Draymond has a great voice. I think it hits hard. He can do those like, that growling kind of voice, but he could also do like the harmony really well. Like, he's so good. So that's my number 10. Number 9. Number 9 is Angus Young from AC/DC. Angus Young has such a great voice. Like, he's most people. He came in when after Bon Scott died. Who I'll admit, when I got into AC/DC, it was the Angus Young stuff, because my favorite album is Back in Black, and that's the album he came in. But the Bon Scott stuff is great, but the Angus Young stuff is really good. He has a really iconic voice. Like, he's definitely up there with my favorite singers, just because his voice is an example of rock and roll. Like, when I mean, especially Back in Black, just listen to that song, or Thunderstruck, either one of those songs, like, his voice is iconic. So definitely that's my number 9. Number 8 is Amy Lee from from Evanescence. Sorry, guys. Amy Lee from Evanescence. She's my favorite female singer. Like, her voice is incredible. Just listen to My Immortal is probably her voice at her best, but I think Call Me When You're Sober is another good one from her. Like, her voice is so good. And I'd definitely, down the line, do, female vocalists. Not just rock, just in any genre, because her voice is so fucking good. So definitely she's in my list. Number 7 is Chris Cornell from Soundgarden. Chris Cornell has such a good voice, man. Like, Black Hole Sun is my favorite song from Soundgarden, but if you want to listen to a song where Chris goes hard with his voice, listen to "Say Hello to Heaven." I think I said this in the Soundgarden video. Listen to "Say Hello to Heaven." That last part, he goes fucking hard. Chris Cornell and his cover of he did a song for Casino Royale, which was really good. Is probably my favorite Bond song. It's so good. Soundgarden's obviously iconic. Like, he's such an incredible singer. It's sad we lost him, R.I.P. But yeah, his voice is incredible. So he's number 7. Number 6 is Freddie Mercury from Queen. Queen is one of my favorite bands of all time, and like I mentioned, he's one of the most iconic singers. His voice is so good. It's one of those, like, it's another one, like, I think it really can't be matched. Like Bohemian Rhapsody, I like the song, but I always kind of skip the middle for a long time. But man, even that middle portion, like the fact that he can do his voice like that is really good. And hearing him live, like hearing him like at Live Aid, just can't think of the other one, but yeah, like like any of his live performances are so good. He's an example of like a phenomenal singer, and it's sad he's another one that we lost, sadly. So R.I.P. Freddie Mercury, but yeah, he's my number 6. Now we're getting to the top 5. Before I get to that, my number 5. Number 5 is Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses. Axl Rose is a big reason, along with AC/DC, is a big reason I'm a rock and metal fan. And Axl Rose's voice, whatever, how you feel about him, he's he's a dick in real life and all that, whatever. His voice in his prime, like Appetite to like really the 90s, his voice was really good. Like November Rain, Paradise, like so many good songs. And even some of his live performances are really good. Yeah, his later performances aren't good, but definitely like when he was still at its height, I think he had a really phenomenal voice that just was so recognizable in rock and roll. So he's definitely my number 5. Number 4 is Lane Staley from Alice in Chains. R.I.P. Lane Staley. He to me is the best grunge singer, but his voice is so incredible. Like I had watched it before and I had listened to it, but like watch Nutshell Unplugged, like his unplugged performance of that. His performance of that it's so eerie because I think he died like 5 years after that performance, and he already could tell he was already having issues, but that performance is so incredible. His voice, but Love Hate Love, the fact like he didn't just sound like a grunge singer. When I first heard that song, the high notes he hit in that, I'm like, he sounds like he could easily be a ballad singer. Like he can get his voice super high. Rooster, that's another one I felt like he did fucking great. Watched another performance live he did that was really good, was Down in a Hole. That was also unplugged on the same show. Was really good. Like Lane Staley had an incredible voice. The way he can do the melody, the harmony, it's so fucking good. Like I listen to Alice in Chains pretty much every day now. Like I have to. I gotta listen to some Lane Staley, man. It's so fucking good. So he's definitely in my number 4. R.I.P. We lost him way too soon. But yeah, dude had an incredible voice. So now, number 3 is Steve Perry from Journey. My God. I said this in the Journey video. His voice is fucking beautiful. Just listen to Faithfully. just his voice in that is so incredible. Like I saw like it's so much fun to like sing along to. His voice is so fucking good. The fact like the high notes he hits in it. That last chunk of Faithfully, but Open Arms is another one. Even his solo stuff, like he went on to do a song called Oh Sherry. That one's really fucking good. Like Steve Perry has a beautiful fucking voice. Like he's another one. I gotta listen to Journey all the time. Like his voice is so good. I know Journey now has like a, I don't know now, but I know within like the 2000s got like this Asian dude who does a good job of covering them, leads them now, and I've seen it. Like it's not bad, but just it's not Steve Perry. Like Steve Perry is one of those I just don't think you really can match. Like you could sound close, but you're just never gonna match. Like his voice is so good. So that's my number 3. Now we're getting to the top 2. Number 2 is Sebastian Bach from Skid Row. Same thing. Dude might be a dick in real life, but dude, his music is incredible. His voice, him at his prime, like I think, my humble opinion, besides my number 1 pick, Sebastian Bach in his prime, in terms of singing, I just don't think could be matched. Like, even when I first found Sebastian Bach or Skid Row, I was more of a Guns N' Roses guy. But I'm sorry, I love Axl. Axl used to be in my like number. I would have probably, if you had asked me like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I would have said probably Guns N' Roses. I would have said Axl would have probably been like my second or third. But no, I'm sorry, Sebastian Bach's voice in the just listen to like a new like I remember he's a good one where he fucking belts his heart out. But one I found recently that I should have found a long time ago, a song called Wasted Time, which is actually about Duff. I think it's Steven Adler, from former GNR member. It was about him. Listen to that song. When you get to the big chorus part and he hits that high note, dude, I sat there stunned for like 5 minutes. It's like, I'm sorry, this dude cannot be matched in his prime, besides my number 1 pick. Because, man, Sebastian Bach's voice is like, it is fucking beautiful. In a Darkened Room's another one where he goes hard. 18 in Life. I Remember You. Dude is a beautiful fucking singer. And, you know, even if he was hard to work with, Skid Row kicking him out was the dumbest thing ever. Because in my humble view, he is fucking Skid Row. He is what made that band. Because like Guns N' Roses, you can argue, yeah, Axl does make the band a big portion, but I'd also say Slash because of his guitar. I don't think the guitar in Skid Row, it's not bad, but it's not like, it's like the guitar stands out to me like that, like compared to like Guns N' Roses guitar. So that's why to me, Skid Row, Sebastian Bach was the fucking band. Just listening to Wasted Time, that big high note he hits, I was stunned for like a minute. I was like, bro, dude, yeah, Sebastian Bach at his prime, he couldn't be matched. But besides my number 1 pick, Ronnie James Dio. Ronnie James Dio, and I said it in my Dio bands I love a few weeks ago. Ronnie James Dio to me is rock and roll. His voice, when I think rock and metal, his voice personifies that. Especially I love Holy Diver. That song is like the medieval, the sound, but Rainbow in the Dark, when I listen to his voice in that song, he personifies rock and roll. When I think, what singer do I think is like the voice of rock and roll? It's Sebastian Bach to me. Not Sebastian Bach, Ronnie James Dio. His voice is so fucking good. Like, the fact, like, I mean, Heaven and Hell, I listened to it the other day, is really good. Like, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of, and it's not because of Ronnie, I just prefer him on his own, and to me, Black Sabbath is Ozzy, but Heaven and Hell is an incredible song, and if he wasn't in Black Sabbath, he maybe wouldn't have gotten big, because his voice was incredible. Even in, like, live performances, even some of his live performances before he died, you know, like a couple years before, he still had a rockin' voice. Like, just that voice to me is rock and roll. Like, it's so recognizable. It's just the way he sings and the way he says his line or the lyrics, it's just like, man, it's so fucking good. So definitely Ronnie James Dio is my number one. R.I.P. I think he's another one we lost too soon because I would not have mind, even if his voice isn't fully the same. I would have loved to have seen him live. I just so, but definitely these are my favorite rock and metal singers. I want to see some of your favorites in the comment section. I like talking more music stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love talking about movies, but like last year, big 2021, I wanted to talk more music because a part of me is like, I feel like I just talk movies all the time. So it would be nice to talk about other things. And a big thing I love is rock and metal. I listen to this shit all the fucking time. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about it more. So I talked about with specific bands. And now doing this video, I always wanted to list my favorite singers. Maybe I'll do guitarists definitely down the line too. Um, but yeah, all the singers I named are incredible. I think there's definitely some others out there that are really good. So, but yeah, guys, tomorrow, like I mentioned, I'll be reviewing Police Story. This is gonna be me going in blind. That's one I've never seen. I don't even think I've seen a scene from it. So, this is gonna be a new one for me. So that's gonna be awesome because I love watching a new movie with fresh eyes. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. But other than that, I'm gonna cheers to all these great singers I just named. But other than that, definitely fuck Warner Brothers. I'm gonna be going in on them in a few days, guys. Just wait. With the recent shit that has been coming out, fuck Warner Brothers. So, fuck Disney. Fuck LaBitch James. Fuck Colin Kaepernick. Fuck Seth Rogen. Fuck Kevin Smith. And fuck the Biden administration. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace!